You do not have to be mentally sharp to become president. All you need is the money and the backing of those who decide the presidency. I mean, this is the one George Bush line. I could have picked hundreds. Our enemies are innovative and resourceful, and so are we. They never stop thinking about new ways to harm our country and our people, and neither do we. Now, this man was President of the United States, please God tell me it's not true, for 8 bloody years. And a few people don't control the world, please. And now, hey, Superman's arrived. Superman, the Buddha, Jesus, and any name you want to put to him. Mr. Fake Obama, who has scammed the American collective psyche on a scale that beggars belief, though many, many people are starting to see the truth of that as we see him in action. But despite Mr. Change Obama, and I'll get into him big time in the second half, we have still this agenda moving on by the day to imprison humanity and to destroy free speech and all that stuff. Nothing changes, even though you have on the surface such an apparently vast change from Bush to Obama. The same agenda continues despite that, because it's all image, and really it's all a scam, and it's all a sleight of hand. Major media destroy information. Of course they do. If you had a real journalists investigating what's really going on in the world and telling the people, this whole agenda, this whole global conspiracy will be over in a week. But they don't. And once again, I was a journalist for years in BBC and newspapers and stuff. My goodness, you don't have to be intelligent to be a journalist, and you certainly don't have to be informed. I can tell you that from personal experience. You really don't. In fact, it's a bad career move if you're really informed. Smith, they tell me you're really informed. I think we ought to have a chat in my office. Thanks, nation builders. We couldn't control the people without you. And I say this to journalists who think investigative journalism is reading the morning newspapers and watching the newsroom television. You have children and grandchildren, and they're going to have to live in the world that you're helping to create by not doing the job that you claim to do on your tax form, i.e. being a journalist. Religions destroy spirituality, of course, again, because they are there to keep people from truly understanding the true magnitude and infinite nature of who we are behind all the fronts of bodies and minds and all the rest of it. That's what they're there to do. And what are religions? Rules and regulations. If you believe that, you're not a Catholic. If you believe that, you're not a Jew. If you believe that, you're not a Muslim. Rules and regulations, the common denominator. And what are they? Walls of limitation. The world is crazy, he thinks it's sane. My God. What do? We pepper bomb cities full of civilians as a peacekeeping operation. We've now reached the point where we're so bloody clever, we have the technology to kill more people quicker than ever before. We liberate people by blowing them to pieces. We have children in this state-of-the-art world signing their names on bombs which are then dropped on other children, message received. And it's all kept from us at the level of where we'll actually do anything about it by the constant hypnotic stuff that we get, the diversions. Game show. Hey, there's a game show on, honey. She's going to win the car. Hey, here's a celebrity. Hey, the celebrities, the new religion. Read People magazine. Read OK. Who's gone to bed with who? Hey, who's got a new big house? Ooh, what's going on there? Well, shut that noise off, will you? I'm reading this. Let's watch the sport. I love sport. But when sport becomes the focus of everything instead of an add-on to your life, It's a diversion so you don't see. And then we have the newsreaders telling us everything that the system wants us to think is true. That's what they do. But this is the key one, all the time. Be afraid, be very afraid. The big bad monster's coming as soon as we've invented him. Keep people in fear. That's the key. Oh, terrorism. Ah! Oh, global warming. Ah! Swine flu. Ah! Why they do that will become very clear at a very deep level in a second, or in the second half rather. And it's all about, this will be very key when I get to what I've just said in the second half, that point. It's about keeping us in a state of survival. Fearing, not surviving. Not just physically fearing, but not surviving, but not meeting the rent. Not surviving in our job. Not surviving. And we've reached a point, a real big fork in the road, where we have big choices to make. And not next week, now, over which way we're going to go. Because if things go on as they are, then we will live in a global fascist dictatorship within a decade, and I'm probably being optimistic. However, if we go in another direction, we can bring it tumbling down. We can either go there, or we can go there. And what we do in the next 2 or 3 years is going to fundamentally decide which way we go. That's what they want. They want us so robotic. We think people can be robotic today? Well, treble it, quadruple it, multiply it by 1,000. That's what they want. In effect, barcoded people, nothing more than clones. If we're going to be free, truly free, not what we call freedom now, it's not freedom, it's just a little bit less enslavement. It's like happiness. Most people are not really happy in the true infinite nature of happiness. That we equate happiness with being less unhappy than we were yesterday. It feels better, so we must be happy now. And it's the same with freedom. Oh, because we can do this and they in that country can't do that, we must be free and they must not be free. But if you get to the true nature of freedom, none of us are free, unless we choose to take it. And one of these choices is obey authority and lose our freedom to even to express ourselves, to succumb to fear. Oh, authority, oh, man in uniform, oh. Or we can know thyself. We can know that we are not that which we see in the mirror. We can see that we are all that is, has been, and ever will be, having an experience in this reality, and we've got caught into believing that we are the vehicle of experience, i.e. this, and not what is having the experience. We can choose not to be in fear of these silly people in uniform. And by the way, people in uniform think they have power. No, they don't. No. The uniform has power. They'd have no power. Okay, you're a policeman. Okay, take your uniform off. Okay, where's your power? Your power's in the wardrobe, mate, not you. You're just a vehicle to animate the uniform, which is the uniform is the asset of the state. You're just there for as long as you are allowed to animate the uniform. And then you retire or they sack you and someone else animates the uniform. And they've got no power either. And people in uniform also have children and grandchildren who will have to live in this dictatorship, global dictatorship that they are enforcing. Compliance. It's what we must do. We must comply. We must be slaves. Or we can have no compliance. We can have what I call the no-comply dance, where we cease to cooperate with our own enslavement. Comply! Nope. Do this! Nope. Chill out, man. Nope. Number of